Richie from Drift Mechanics here, and this is my top 5 RC drift cars for under $200. In the past week I have shot things like the fastest RC monster truck for under $300, fastest RC car for under $100. With drift cars, that kind of goes out the window because they're not about speed. So which is the best one? That is purely subjective. I could have a different view compared to you, your friend, etc, etc on there. But I've done quite a bit of research on these. Quite a few of these cars I've owned, not all of them, but I've done a lot of research on ones I haven't owned on it. So hopefully that will come across in the video. So in terms of the ranking of these 5 RC drift cars for under $200, I've ranked them purely on price point on air. Now, drift cars are one of the best things for honing your RC driving skills out there going. Because when the back of your monster truck breaks loose, if you've had control of a drift car, you know exactly what to do, counter steering into, etc. So it can save you from some fairly expensive moments moving forwards on air. And drift cars are the ideal shelter in place cars. They're the ideal thing for using when you're under quarantine and you've not got a lot of space to work in. You could drift the thing like crazy around the inside of your garage and have so much fun. It is absolutely untrue. If you have a bigger yard, bigger blacktop to play on, then that just adds to the fun. With most of these cars, and in one in particular, you could even drift them around the inside of your house. But do that whilst your wife or your partner is away at work. Anyway, as I say, these drift cars are done in price point order, so let's move straight on to RC drift car number 1 for under $200, which is... Well, at our lowest entry-level price point, we have from NitroRCX.com, one which I've not owned, I will say, which is the Exceed RC Mad Drift car. Brushed motor at this price point, $149.95, completely ready to run. Comes included with a stock nickel metal hydride pack included on there. Now, it is shaft driven, I will say on here, as opposed to belt driven. My preference, like a lot of people out there, for drift cars is the belt drive, because with the shaft driving the thing, you get a little bit of torque twist which can unsettle the car slightly from side to side when you are drifting. But there's a huge amount of car for the money on here, particularly shelter in place, less than $150. And there is a great video which I'll leave you to play in your own time. I'll put a link to the car and the website below the video. Full size 540 can motor on here, as I say, brushed as opposed to brushless at this price point. But note here, 2S to 3S lipo capable. I would think this thing is gonna be a shed load of fun on either 2S or 3S. Although speed is not what drift cars are about. But to my mind, $149.95, huge amount of bang for the buck at this price point. Anyway, let's move straight on to RC car number 2, which is the Redcap Lightning Apex Drift. You will notice it is on back order, but a lot of the cars on the market are out there at the minute. I'll put a link to this one below the video. It's available, but due to the current circumstances we're all faced with at the minute, a lot of the cars out there are on back order. So what is there to like about this? Well, we've got a 27-turn 540 brushed motor, allowing the car to, as it says, drift effortlessly around corners. The great thing about this, battery and charger included. A lot of bang for your buck, but let's take a look at it on the Redcap website. It's available in both red and blue, although the pictures on here in the main seem of the blue car. Again, shaft driven drift car at this price point. But Redcap are growing in reputation to my mind. Now, you may be able to get this one available down at JJ Customs. Give them a call on there. The only downside is the Redcap battery connector on there. I do not know why they do not use a more standard connector, but if you scan through the Redcap website, you will see you're getting a huge amount of car for your money. Now I'll put a link to both the Redcap website with it on there and the A-Main website with it on there as well. A lot of the time I'm recommending A-Main because they are delivering faster than other people, even faster than the manufacturers. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's move straight on to drift car number 3, which is the simply awesome Redcap Thunder Drift. Now I have owned one of these. It's the first one at this price point.
$169.99, which is available with a belt drive, available in orange, or the one yours truly owned in grey on here. Although the photos do not do it justice on here. Let's scan down to the details of the chassis. On here you will see belt drive on here, which a lot of you drift aficionados will appreciate on there. Unfortunately, still got the same Redcap connector, but that's a fairly easy thing to change over. This thing handles like an absolute dream. $169.99 at this price point is it's very, very hard to beat. I did say I'd rated these on price, but I have to say, hand on heart, number 3, buy a Redcap Thunder drift car. My friend Jim at F&M Hobbies back in New Jersey, literally as fast as he could put these things out on the shelf, people would come out and say, oh, I'll buy that. You unboxed one? I'll buy that. I'll buy that. I'll buy that. That speaks absolute volumes. Now I will put a link to the Redcat website under there, but also a link to it on AMain. Okay, it's on back order from AMain. I still say this is one of the fastest places. They are shipping so fast under the current circumstances. It is ridiculous. Huge amount of car for the money. Completely ready to run, nickel metal hydride battery included with it, and that would be my top recommendation, even though this is number 3 out of number 5 in terms of pricing wise. I would say go for the Redcap Thunder drift car. Just remember guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. Now next up we have the Tamiya Mazda RX-7 FD3S drift spec version. $278, Rich. Oh, forget about that, boys and girls. Because on the AMain website, the same car is available for $194.99, pitching it well in below that $200 price point. It is a kit. You will have to assemble it. This is the TT02 drift spec variant that comes with special parts enabling it to be a drift machine on here. You will need to buy a 2-channel radio, battery and charger and some paint, but it does come with the motor and ESC included. So what is there to like about this thing? Well, the TT02D is a proven shaft-driven drift platform, which has a pretty good reputation out there on the drifting scene, considering it is a shaft-driven drift car as opposed to a belt-driven drift car. And being a Tamiya kit, you can be assured that the quality is going to be very, very high, with everything you need included to assemble the car. And as we all have time on our hands at the minute, then a kit makes perfect sense to my mind. Particularly as if you've never built a kit before, you will learn so much from building it. And the Tamiya instruction manuals are pretty good. You get every last nut, bolt and screw included with the kit. So, whilst many of us have time on our hands, why not bite the bullet and buy one of these Tamiya Mazda RX-7 kits from AMain? As I say, it fits in there under my price point of sub $200, $194.99. That said, within a Tamiya kit, whilst you get the motor and the ESC included with it, you are going to need to spend a little bit more to get some batteries, charger and radio gear to go with it. And once we've got time on our hands, it's the ideal thing to be doing whilst we're under quarantine or shelter in place orders. Anyway, what takes number 5 slot? One of my absolute favourites of all time. It's the Cryosho MA020 Mini Z all-wheel drive Initial D RX-7 Mazda drift car. More fun, to use that rich expression, than you could shake a stick at. The thing, never mind being ready to run, the thing even comes with included little cones to practice your drifting around. So you could run this on your living room table. Absolutely outstanding. Now, I know it is towards the right at the top end of the sub $200 market on here, but the amount of option parts these cars come with or that you can purchase for them on the aftermarket is unbelievable. They make like the Traxxas and Armour aftermarket parts scene look fairly low rent. The amount of options, hop upgrades you can get for these things is absolutely crazy. Now, yours truly had one of these back in the UK. I probably spent double that price point just on upgrades alone. Faster motor, better shocks, better tyres, etc, etc. The thing handled like an absolute dream until I was moving house and somebody borrowed it off the back of the moving wagon. So Out of any of the cars on here, other than the Thunder Drift, which I still highly rate as the best bang for the buck, sub $200 drift car out there, I would recommend buying a Mini Z. In fact, as I'm videoing this, I'm talking myself into buying one of these. And you can even get a gyro unit for the thing, which is going to enable you to become a drift god around your living room floor. Buy one of these, you will not look back. They are just so much fun. It is untrue. I appreciate it's towards the top of the price point. If yours truly had $200, what would I buy? I would be split between the Redcap Thunder Drift or this. But money in object, I would absolutely, without any question at all, buy this.
So I hope there's a little bit of something for everyone in there. It's quite a good price point, sub below $200. I appreciate the pressure a lot of us are under at the minute. If you're wondering what all this junk is along the bench behind me, I've been working on an RC car workshop video which is coming up later on in this week. So if you want to see that and more of my RC car videos, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And above all people, stay safe out there.
Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.